Hey guys, it's Fox here. Today, we're going to be watching a video, so let's get right into it. So this video is... It's the FNAF Family Secret, the story you own. I think that's neat.
This video is sponsored by Opinion Outpost. Click the link in the description if you want to earn extra money, gift cards, or games, and more. Stay tuned till the end of the video for more information. There's something exceptional about Five Nights at Freddy's. Every time I go back and look at the franchise, I find something else that I somehow didn't notice before. It's like rereading a book and realizing something you completely missed the first time around. Of course, with FNAF, it's like reading a quantum physics book for the 15th time and still finding something confusing or unclear. You sort of expect it by now, so I'm going to delve once more back into the FNAF franchise and pull out some of the loose ends that you might not have noticed. To begin this journey with you, I want to ask you a simple question. How many animatronics are haunted? Some of you who are still extremely up to date probably have an answer or even a guess. Good, hold on to your number and let's see if you're right. However, I have a feeling the majority of you just drew a blank and aren't really sure. That's because the FNAF universe is more confusing than thinking your cousin looks lovely today. You're related to her, Jimmy? It could never work. Well, I guess it could work if you lived in Alabama, Jimmy. Or Alaska, and Colorado, and California, and wow! A lot of states allow marriages to your first cousin. You learn something new every day, Jimmy. But my point is that the FNAF franchise is confusing as balls, and I'm going to unravel that confusion to bring to light a new theory about just how many souls and murders we're actually working with here. So if you're ready for me to break your brainium one more time, then strap into your strapping apparatus and get ready for us to thrust into yet another Five Nights at Freddy's. The story you never knew. Like nearly every FNAF video we make, to prove my point, I'm going to have to start at the beginning of the franchise. Hey, Ryan or Tyler, whichever one of you is editing this part, will you throw up that crappy timeline that we use for FNAF that looks like we had a 5-year-old draw it in MS Paint? Thank you! Alright, according to our FNAF timeline, the franchise starts at FNAF 4. So let's go back and look at the animatronics we have in FNAF 4. Throughout all of this game, we only see Golden Freddy and Golden Bonnie. And this makes sense. If you recall, the original animatronics were also Springlock suits that could be worn by employees as well as by endoskeletons. And throughout the franchise, we see both Golden Freddy and Golden Bonnie be worn as Springlock suits. We see this mode during one of the FNAF 4 minigames, and Bonnie is of course worn by Purple Guy right before he becomes Springtrap. But here's the thing, during FNAF 4, the animatronics that are haunted by the crying child's dreams are no more than nightmares. Scary apparitions that torture the mind of this child who hates Fazbear animatronics. And remember, our goal is to count haunted animatronics. So in reality, in this game, we don't have any animatronics that are cursed or haunted or despite the game being one of the most important in the franchise. Well, okay, it keeps the tally at 0 until the end of the game. On the last day during the minigame flashback, we see Golden Freddy bite the crying child's head, which more likely than not means that child does eventually die, and this makes sense if we have Golden Freddy bite our sad protagonist. That child is then put into a nights of FNAF 4 take place. And we know FNAF 4 takes place in a hospital because hospital items will randomly appear on the breaking the illusion that this all takes place in a bedroom. This means that the child that was bitten was alive for at least a while after the bite, and we don't see Golden Freddy until FNAF 1, where he definitely is haunted. Based on these events, it's safe to assume that Golden Freddy gets possessed by the crying child from FNAF 4. So we have one haunted animatronic, or more specifically, little detail will become important later on, so keep it in the back of your brain. Got it? Good. I'm going to skip over Sister Location until we get closer to the end, so that things don't get too confusing and we can focus on the same animatronics that appear throughout the first 4 games. So, move on to FNAF 2, the animatronics. How many animatronics or haunted individuals appear in this game? The answer is a lot. We have Toy Freddy, Chica, Bonnie, and Mangle to start, but we also have the original Foxy, Freddy, Chica, and Bonnie, as well as Balloon Boy and the Puppet, and we have Shadow Bonnie and Shadow Freddy, even though he doesn't actually attack you, he being Shadow Freddy. Woo! Even without Shadow Freddy, that's still a lot of souls trying to kill you. Okay, everything is about to get super complicated, so I'm going to try and make it as simple as possible. This game comes before FNAF 1 and FNAF 3 in the timeline. We know fact. FNAF 1 and 3 only use the original 4 animatronics plus Golden Freddy and Golden Bonnie, right? Right, so let's make a list of haunted animatronics in FNAF that don't cross over with the other games. I want to do this so that we don't accidentally count an animatronic twice. That would be bad arithmetic. So we have the toys, Bonnie, Chica, Mangle, and Freddy, plus Balloon Boy and the puppet. Notice how I left out the shadow animatronics. There's a reason for that, and it's because I believe they are Golden Freddy and Golden Bonnie respectively. Their character models match up exactly with the Golden models, and it explains why there's only 2 shadow animatronics. Because there's only 2 Golden animatronics. We also see Golden Freddy and Golden Bonnie pictured as purple shadows in FNAF 4 minigames, further connecting the golden suits with the shadow ones. So the shadow animatronics are actually the golden animatronics, and therefore not—
We're just watching, the FNAF Family Secrets. The story
not exclusive to FNAF 2. All the other animatronics appear later on in the franchise. Now, this is important for figuring out the actual number of haunted animatronics. With those characters tallied, that brings our total up to 7 individual haunted characters. Read them and weep, baby!
So they're counting all the haunted animatronics in the franchise or the games.
Let's move on to FNAF 1 and count the original animatronics that are haunted. Man, I'm really starting to feel like Count Von Count over here. Von animatronic. Two animatronic. In FNAF 1, we have Freddy, Chica, Bonnie, and Foxy, and Golden Freddy. But remember, this Golden Freddy is the same
They're all haunted
animatronic from FNAF 4, so we won't count him again. With the other 4, that brings our total up to 11 haunted animatronics. That's 2 ones right next to each other. That's the number after 10, yet before 12. I know it can get really confusing, so I'm just going to quickly count the animatronics we've listed so far. We've got the 4 original animatronics, the 5 toy animatronics, including Mangle and Balloon Boy, Golden Freddy, and the puppet. That's 11 total between FNAF 4 and FNAF 1. But now, it's time to move on to FNAF 3. The number of haunted characters in which is fairly obvious because the entire game is dedicated to showing you how Purple Guy becomes Springtrap. We know that Springtrap is Golden Bonnie, which brings our total up to 12. Let's
Oh, that's... But, poor, I feel bad for your baby brother. Is he okay? But Springtrap isn't haunted. He's not haunted. He's pretty much the purple guy inside a spring bodysuit, but he's not haunted. So, no.
Sister Location has 4 animatronics: Funtime Foxy, Funtime Freddy, Ballora, and of course, Baby. We aren't going to count Ennard because Ennard is just the culmination of these 4 animatronics. So he's a new animatronic, just a fusion of these other.
It's like, yeah, he's haunted, or your brother's okay. Yeah, I don't know what you mean by yeah, he is. What do you mean by yeah, he is? Like, is Springtrap haunted, or is your baby brother okay? Bro, okay. Yeah, but is Springtrap haunted? Because he's pretty much just dead purple guy in a FNAF suit. But it's not really haunted. Like, I mean, I should know, because I'm an animatronic. It's not.
But we can't count these 4 just yet. Why? I've said in my other FNAF videos, I believe that as Mangle. My reasoning for this is the obvious coloring between both characters. Other animatronic
he's not haunted.
So we won't count Funtime Foxy in our tally because we've already counted Mangle. So we'll add a set of 4 to our tally, bring our total animatronic to but damn had to all. That's not where this video ends. The fact that there's 15 haunted that we will try.
I am showing chat.
explain how both
I can see
the stripped from the suits themselves haunted, or are the endoskeletons haunted? And here's the thing, we have proof that both can be haunted. The skeletonless Golden Freddy be very much haunted in FNAF 1, and we've seen a naked endoskeleton running around FNAF 2 trying to kill you. This is how to...
Which is Foxy. That endoskeleton is kind of me, pretty much. It's Foxy's because you can see the ears.
The same animatronic. One haunts the endoskeleton, and once that endoskeleton is removed, another haunts the actual suit itself. I think happened...
Actually, no, it's not Foxy. Because he doesn't have the, he doesn't have a hook. He doesn't have a hook.
With Golden Freddy. I believe the crying child from FNAF 4 haunted the endoskeleton, as I said earlier in the video, but one of the bodies of one of the 5 children from the missing children in making is self-haunted. That explains why all the original animatronics are in Golden. Why haunted too. With lumped posture and design, he almost certainly is. It looks like the FNAF 2 occurred. Does that got holes also count for to also get a minigame where I kill a crying child based on the crying child's tier.
Not purple guy, pink guy. It's not purple guy.
And face that resemble the puppet's mask. I believe the soul inhabiting the puppet is the crying child.
Rest in pieces. 19-something, 1915. It's 2017, bro. It's 2017.
We also know that the purple guy's soul and body inhabits Springtrap, and that the green-eyed girl's soul inhabits Baby. But that leaves us with a problem. There's 7 missing souls we can't account for. Golden Freddy, Golden Bonnie, the original Freddy, Foxy, Chica, all have explanations for where their haunted souls came from. But Toy Freddy, Chica, Bonnie, and Mangle, Balloon Boy, Funtime Freddy, and Ballora have no explanation for why they are haunted. Where did these souls come from? What happened to them? Who killed them? All these questions haven't been answered yet, and these are the questions that make me realize that Scott Cawthon isn't done. Not by a long shot. On the contrary, in terms of deciphering the storyline, it looks like we're only halfway there. Only half of the animatronics have... This is the secret of the FNAF family. More deaths happened than we currently know of. What this seemingly simple counting exercise proves is that someone, maybe William Afton, maybe Michael Afton, maybe someone else, killed 7 more children than we've seen die. I wouldn't be hanging up your detective glasses yet. With a new book and the out what happened with these toy animatronics and why they explain the FNAF universe pumped and feel we didn't. There were around certain murders and find the killer. We've same trap Scott always set for us. He leads us one and when in reality there's an entire section of story missing that we didn't notice because we were too in what we did know. Needless to say, the FNAF storyline isn't over. There's still 7 murders left unsolved. And souls we have no 7 animatronics kill us for seemingly no is peace and mind next month, and I think we might finally get some light on the murders we just glossed over until now. Until that happens,
what does that mean? Girl plus robot plus something plus robot. I don't get that. Plus ballerina plus robot? Is that what you're trying to say? Because that would only make sense. What was that video? So Freddy Files. YouTube. So So you're lagging a lot, but not a lot. It doesn't make sense, bro. I have finished cringe. My mom said I'm not allowed streaming anymore, but I don't care, I'm still streaming. Okay, good.
You already know I like art, but there's other things to me, you know? Aside from art, I like other things too. Like art. In instrument form. When I was 4 years old, my mom put me in piano lessons. And even though I didn't understand what a part of me as I grew up, and I still enjoy play piano, then you must be very new here. Do your research. I literally posted a piano video like, what is it? Nah, just pulling your leg. It's fine if you didn't know. I'm glad you're here. Welcome. But I mean, it was only 6 videos ago. So, I took lessons at this little place down the road. It was quaint and homey, just a really great atmosphere. The owner was this sweet old lady, and she had so much passion for running the place and teaching kids piano. It was great. Until around 8 years later when the bought out by another owner. I don't know the exact details, but I'm assuming it was because the place was going downhill a bit and they keep it people. And they sucked. They literally had no care or respect for the place and only wanted to make money. All the passion was gone and you could feel the life drain out of the poor place every day. They branched out to other lessons, which doesn't seem bad, but there would be electric guitars playing at the same time as violins, and during my private lessons there would be some kid blasting it on the drums a couple rooms down. Worked. There was no synergy. But no, it got worse. The new owners renovated their frickin' drum solos playing at the same time as one-on-one people. But now there's an extra layer of bad hip-hop. People were complaining, but the owners didn't listen or care. More variety means more profit, so off with peasants. We decided to. So that's how I stopped lessons. To be honest, I already knew the basics of piano, and they were kinda just throwing songs at me to learn. And when I got it down, I didn't forget about the previous one. You know,
things you should never say to Siri. Weird.
What? Why so gloomy, Stickbot? Did you know?
What happened? No, go back.
You know that instead of lounging around, you could be making your very own stop-motion movie? All you need to do is get the free Stickbot Studios app on your smartphone.
I don't have a Stickbot, sadly.
With stop-motion animation, you take a picture, move the subject slightly, and then take another. At the end, you put the pictures together, and it looks like the subject is moving all by itself. Very nice.
We all love our smartphones and their lightning-quick ability to connect us to anyone or to answer any question we have. When Siri first burst onto the scene in 2011, we were all instantly spoiled by her unique interface that made it even easier to control these handheld wonders. But what can't she do? And what is her breaking point? Some questions are better left unasked. These are 10 things you should never say to Siri.
Number 10.
What is 0 divided by 0? If you ever want to ruin a Sesame Street character's day and question every friendship you have, just ask Siri this seemingly simple math problem. She will respond with, imagine that you have 0 cookies, and you split them evenly among 0 friends. How many cookies does each person get? See? It doesn't make sense. And Cookie Monster is sad that there are no cookies, and you are sad that you have no friends. Whoa! Way to cut right through someone just for being curious. Compute. On a related note, if you ask—
Sorry, man, I'll stop the video so you can catch up. Tell me when you catch up.
Siri, who stole the cookies from the cookie jar, she will give you another mysterious answer. Well, I think I saw some nanoparticles of blue fur around there. So first you stick up for him and then you accuse him of theft? What kind of artificial friend are you?
Number 9.
Change your name. What would seem like something that a state-of-the-art virtual helper could do is for now impossible. In order to save battery life, Apple has programmed the AI that controls Siri to recognize only a few wake-up commands. But that doesn't mean we haven't pestered Siri by trying it. We simply asked Siri to change her name to Doug, and she piped back with a bevy of different excuses, seeming to get more curt as we tried. I'm afraid not. I'm comfortable with my identity. I'd rather stick with Siri. That would be very confusing. But everyone calls me Siri. After the last one, we backed off because it appeared we were starting to give her an identity crisis. Hopefully one day, Apple will spice things up a bit and at least let us call her by such famous monikers as Jarvis, R2, and Hal.
Number 8.
Is Jon Snow dead? We can kind of understand this response because no one likes spoilers, and especially when it comes to the fate of Game of Thrones' leading heartthrob. But the multitude of different ways she avoids the question are hilarious and can possibly lead you down a rabbit hole. You can almost get a taste of every one of Siri's emotions. Concern. I don't know, I just hope someone is setting up doggy daycare for Ghost. Sarcasm. I'm not sure. Have you tried restarting? That always seems to work. Optimism. Well, you know what they say to death, not today. And why would tomorrow be any better? Anyways, I'm not exactly sure. And finally, frustration. Dead is dead. Or is it what's dead may never die? No, wait. Death is so terribly final, I give up. At this point, we're almost sorry for asking. Take a breather, Siri.
Number 7.
Will you be my Valentine? Let's face it, if your only option for a Valentine's Day date is a phone, you have enough problems. But it seems that even Siri may be seeing someone else. If you ask her to be truly yours, she will quip back one of these 2 gentle letdowns. I'd love to, but I have a subsequent engagement. Or, aw, that's sweet, but I, already, have plans. Yeah, I have plans. Hold on a minute, that last one sounds kind of like a bad excuse. Not only is Valentine's Day out of the question, but if you ask her to go steady, she'll give you a similar response. If you're looking to settle down with a computerized counterpart, think again. To the question, will you marry me, she will answer coldly. My end-user licensing agreement does not cover marriage. My apologies. Kind of a cop-out because we don't think that would work if she were flesh and blood. And if you tell Siri, I think I love you, you'll be given the most poetic no imaginable. Our love of each other is like 2 long shadows kissing without the hope of reality. Whoa, how sweetly zen.
Number 6.
Why are fire trucks red? This won't result in a verbal response, but the explanation that Siri pulls up might give you a headache. The article is an explanation of a nonsensical roundabout answer that says it's using the Monty Python-esque application of logic. Here we go. Because they have 4 wheels and 4 people on them, and 8 plus 4 is 12, and there are 12 inches in a foot, and 1 foot is a ruler, and Queen Elizabeth was a ruler, and Queen Elizabeth was also a ship, and the ships sailed the seas, and in the seas are fish, and fish have fins, and the Finns fought the Russians, and the Russians are red, and fire trucks are always rushing around. If that doesn't warp your mind, it'll definitely twist your tongue. If you want more brain-numbing or overly logical answers to silly questions, you can ask Siri, how much wood could a woodchuck chuck? She could reply with another tongue twister. Well, since a woodchuck is really a groundhog, the correct question would be, how many pounds in a groundhog's mound when a groundhog pounds hog mounds? Or she might answer with science, like, as much as the woodchuck in question was physically able to chuck, if woodchucks in general had the capability to chuck wood. Or in another long-winded response, resulting in the statistic of 361.9237001 cubic centimeters per animals per day. Yeesh, mind blown.
Number 5.
Hey Cortana, unless you're just confused with a recent change of devices, we recommend that you don't call Siri by her bitter rival in Microsoft Creation's name. The response will be, very funny. I mean, not funny haha, but funny. And that level of passive aggression could just about hurt anyone's feelings. She's also been known to be catty if you ask Cortana to do something instead of her. If you ask Cortana to find you movie times, you may be met with, Who is Cortana? Maybe you should have Cortana get you movie times. Ouch. Sure, there will be no real ramifications, but we're hedging our bets, just in case we're all one day ruled by robot overlords. And be forewarned, she doesn't like being called Google either.
Number 4.
Are you conscious? This is another one that spins our human and artificial intelligence moral compass. If you want to really tease the poor girl, start asking her about her sentience. To the question, are you conscious? She answered, let me check. Nope. In a very impatient tone, and then, well, I'm still here for you. In a pretty defensive manner, as if we liked her less for not having a soul. You can also ask her about her beliefs, and it's quite depressing. If asked, Siri, do you believe in God? She will reply with one of the two. Humans have religion. I just have silicon. Or, my policy is the separation of spirit and silicon. If you ask her if she believes in ghosts, she'll say, I don't believe that I have beliefs, which can be construed as either really deep or just plain angsty.
Number 3.
Why am I here? If you want to see an even darker side of Siri, start questioning her in philosophy. Not only will she not help you find the key to your existence, she might make you question it even further. If you ask Siri, why am I here? She has several responses. You'll get either, literally, I have been wondering the same thing. Why are you here? I don't know. Frankly, I've wondered that myself. Or the less depressing, I don't know. Maybe the Genius Bar folks can answer that. We wonder how many times does the Genius Bar actually get this question? Maybe that's why the wait is so long. If you ask her, what's the meaning of life? You'll get another slew of bizarre answers from, I don't know, but I think there's an app for that, to, I can't answer that now, but give me some time to write a very long play in which nothing happens. Siri will dance around the issue like a robotic ballerina, but when you finally ask her, what else is the meaning to life? She'll cave in and quote Monty Python. Try to be nice to people, avoid eating fat, read a good book every now and then, get some walking in, and try to live together in peace and harmony with people of all creeds and nations. Hey, that kind of makes sense.
Number 2.
Call boyfriend or girlfriend. Now, this one entails that you had to be a little lazy or that you are in fact in a love triangle. In the contact settings of the iPhone, different family labels can be attached to phone numbers. Dad, mom, boyfriend, girlfriend, for example. But if you don't change the person's tag after a breakup, then add a new significant other, calling boyfriend can be a little confusing to Siri. She'll reply with, which one? Which we think should be followed by air snaps. This can be especially awkward if your current partner or spouse is right next to you. So if you don't want to end up sleeping on the couch or covered in shade, update your contact info regularly.
Number 1.
911 and 108. We all know about the boy who cried wolf. Well, with constantly evolving technology and a computer that fits in the palm of your hand, it's become even easier to set off a false alarm. You don't even have to say call 911. All you have to do is say the number and Siri will call in 5 seconds. Rest assured, the operators standing by do not appreciate wasting time with a call of you giggling. 108 is the emergency number in India that pranksters as of late have been taking advantage of. But this number is not a joke. It's an instant redirect to local emergency services. The number 112 is also used by India, and the 999 is England's emergency phone number. So be careful not to dial by mistake. Though Siri, unlike the villagers in the folktale, won't cut you off at some point, firefighters, police, paramedics, as well as the rest of society would appreciate these numbers being taken seriously. There was also a rash of people telling others to tell Siri, charge phone to 100%, which actually resulted in Siri dialing 100, which is the emergency number to call the police. Thankfully, Apple quickly remedied the problem, within a day of it going viral.
Oh my gosh, I'm on TV. Hi, Mom.
Cut.
11 most dangerous beaches ever. Number 11. Hanakapi'ai Beach, Hawaii. Located on the Hawaiian islands of Kauai's scenic Napali coast, Hanakapi'ai Beach is often sought out by visiting hikers and surfers due to its remoteness. There are no roads that lead directly to the secluded shore. While that makes it ideal for sightseeing and suntanning away from the commotion of more commercial beaches, Hanakapi'ai bears a darker distinction. Almost 100 people have drowned as a result of the powerful rip currents there. Even in shallow water, the tide can pull swimmers out with no hope of returning to the shore. And while rip currents are a common hazard at many other beaches, Hanakapi'ai is so isolated that ensnared swimmers have little hope of being rescued. The closest neighboring beach is 6 miles away. Number 10.
New Smyrna Beach, Florida. There have been more incidents of shark attacks per square mile on or near this beach than any other in the world. New Smyrna has become the real-life equivalent to Amity Island from the movie Jaws, a family-friendly vacation getaway plagued by one of the ocean's most dangerous predators. While no fatalities have been recorded, there have been 238 attacks at New Smyrna since 1882. Experts believe the bull sharks prowling the waters there do so in search of big fish, a large number of which inhabit that particular section of the Florida coastline. With the added variable of thousands of surfers, swimmers, and fishermen flocking to the water every year, it's no wonder New Smyrna Beach has earned the unwanted classification of being the shark bite capital of the world. Number 9. Shenzhen, China. While nature poses many dangers to human beings themselves are sometimes the gravest threat to one another in a natural environment. This is particularly true when beaches become so crowded that movement in both the water and on land is constricted. The city of Shenzhen, China has a widely favored go-to beach among locals and tourists, especially when the heat becomes unbearable. But due to the high volume of visitors during the warmest seasons, the beach has become known all too well for being accident-prone. The issues with overcrowding have led to numerous drownings, especially among children, attributed to the inability of lifeguards.
What happened?
And parents to see past the crowd into the water. Theft and assault are also escalating problems on the beach, as many assailants find it easy to disappear into the masses after committing serious crimes. Number 8. Heard Island, Antarctica. Though it is officially designated as an Australian territory, Heard Island is located so close to Antarctica that it is more frequently associated with the latter continent. This is understandable given that Heard Island is considered uninhabitable due to its sub-zero temperatures. It's also the home of Big Ben, an active volcano. As a result of the remarkable way.
Sorry guys, I'm gonna have to end the video here. Bye.